Hello, everyone. This is Gail Robertson, and I'm with GailNow Live, and I'm here on site at Cavalier Manufacturing in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. And we're going to be meeting some of the executives and our rep in Mexico, as well as seeing some highlights from the virtual tour from Cavalier. So now for one of the first clips from that tour.
Welcome to Cavalier Tool and Manufacturing. We're located here in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. So Cavalier Tool has been in business since 1975. We're in the recreational business, heavy truck, some automotive, medical. We build in excess of 200 tools a year, typically from the mid-size to very large tooling. Behind these walls, you will find some of the best people, process, and equipment found worldwide. I'm very proud to be the head coach of the Cavalier Army. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy your tour of Cavalier.
Well, and now we have you here live, Brian. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. And I can tell you, I'm very excited about this show, to be live, to be down in Mexico. I am really excited to take you guys on a very quick tour to show you some of the behind the scenes footage here at Cavalier. So stay tuned and enjoy the show.
Yes, that is definitely exciting. And we're going to now welcome Ricardo, because Ricardo is actually in Mexico City. And I know he's been busy networking and connecting with lots of people all across Latin America for the Plastimagen 2021. So welcome, Ricardo.
Thank you very much, Gail. Yes, we have been busy so far. This has been a great exhibition for us. We've been receiving a lot of contacts from not just Latin America, but from all over the world. So please join us. Amigos, gracias por acompañarnos. Hasta ahora ha sido un gran evento. Plastimagen nos ha llenado de satisfacciones hasta el momento. Por favor, reúnanse con nosotros, hablen con nosotros. Los podemos ayudar. Estamos seguros que los podemos ayudar. Por favor, manténganse en contacto.
All right. Gracias, Ricardo. Thank you for bringing greetings. And I know we are certainly excited to make many more connections at Plastimagen, because it's a great show, lots of things online. And so next up, we are going to, as promised, we have some insight views into headquarters that we want to take a look at. So first up will be one of the machines, the Euron. So we're going to show one of the video clips from our virtual tour at Cavalier.
Behind me sits one of our largest machining centers, made by a company out of France called Euron. It's a 4.5 meter by 2.5 meter machine with 1.2 meters of travel on the Z. It's a full continuous 5-axis machine, HSK 100 spindle to 15,000 RPM. So it's a real meaty, beefy spindle. We want that because we want to be able to do many, many operations on one machine. Although we don't want to rough on the machine, we could if we chose to. We often semi, finish, engrave, side work, 2D work. Another benefit of a large machine like this is, of course, we can win the really big work, but over weekends and holiday weekends and such, we may put 2 or 3 jobs on the table and run them all back to back continuously. We're fixed with the FCS fixturing on the table, a laser for the tool changer, and a 110 position automatic tool changer. Allows us to do many, many operations back to back simultaneously, and we don't miss a beat.
Don't miss a beat. That is for sure. If you work with Cavalier, that is always the way. So Brian, can you maybe give a little more information about not only the very interesting aspect of having a tool like that, or a piece of equipment like that? Can you expand a bit more on how the Cavalier way fits into everything that you do?
Sure, I would love to. It's not uncommon if you look at a lot of competitors' websites, they always speak of state-of-the-art equipment, meaning that they have something that no one else has. And I don't always agree with that. I think where we're a little different than some of our competitors is we have very unique equipment in the sense that it does many, many different things. So sure, there's CNC machines and they cut metal, but what I'm speaking to is more of the flexibility and the various uses we can do with a single machine. So many of our machines are multi-axis machines. And the idea is we don't have just a machine for finishing or semiing or drilling. We have one machine that can do many of these operations. And that becomes important, not only from speed, but also accuracy. So we're often faced, the pricing is always one thing, the quality is assumed, but timing is also very important. So we take this very challenging scenario, and how would we get to the finish line? We're looking at doing very, very complex operations on very advanced pieces of equipment with some of the best talent in the city. And that's back to that people, process, and equipment. So we've really taken the time to align ourselves with some of the best equipment in the world. And we're going as far as we can to utilize that equipment 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Okay, great. Thank you. That is a very good explanation of people, process, and equipment. Okay, so another item from the virtual tour at Cavalier is an interview with Chris Vanderpark, who is the engineering manager, and he's going to give a little bit of an explanation about how our engineering department works.
Our Indian office has given us 24/7 capabilities. We start a design here, it's moving into India at the same time. We're working in unison. We've added stages to our design so that we're incorporating different areas all at the same time. We're working on concept and feasibility at the same time we're adding water and ejection into tools. We have a mold flow department that we've added so that we can control our own destiny. We can mold flow it, we can concept it, we can simulate it, we can design it. Cavalier Tool Canada with Cavalier Tool India, our integration now between the two companies has become seamless. 2 years ago, we started putting in the backbone to be able to work anywhere around the world at any time seamlessly like you're in the building. I can jump in screens, I can move people around instantaneously. I can talk to my guys in India, I can talk to a customer in Texas, and I can have my designer who's down the street at his house.
Well, and I just want to elaborate on that because Cavalier has definitely a full design team at their global headquarters in Windsor, Ontario. You also have two design offices in India, as well as reps in US, Canada, Latin America. So how does all of that plus engineering tie into why will customers care about all of that? Tim, who is our sales manager at Cavalier.
Cal, thanks for having me here today. One of the things that our tooling partners, our customers come to us with, they've got a couple of things that are important to them. And one is getting their product to market as fast as possible and keeping the cost of their product down as low as possible. Those are the problems they bring to us. And that video you saw has some great examples of Industry 4.0, our simulations for flow, our simulations for manufacturing, the stuff that we do with our team. We have 34 people in the design department that feed the machine that is Cavalier, making sure the product that gets out the door is made to exacting standards, to the customer's expectation. It gets there quicker than our competition and runs better, faster for lower cost per product.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for that. And I know that we're probably going to be getting a bit more into that towards the end when we're wrapping up talking about total cost of ownership, because that is a big part of what Cavalier does is pulling all of these pieces together. So thank you for that. And the next item, we're going to be looking at another item from the virtual tour, and we're going to be looking at the spotting presses, which I refer to often as the icing on the cake. So we're going to go over now to see a little bit more of that and hear from Brian talking about this equipment.
So here we are in our advanced assembly area, and behind me are two spotting presses. So we talk about spotting, it can get a little funny. People say if you cut a really good job and you're really good at cutting, why would you need to spot? We go in here as almost a final check. We vent the tool. We dust the tool down to get it closer. We certainly use it a lot in repairs or engineering changes. Might be a tool that we hadn't built and it comes back. We need to put it in there and guarantee when it goes to our customer, they put it in the press, you set it and forget it. Run your parts.
Set it and forget it. I love that line, Brian, because this, to me, as I said, is like the icing on the cake. So this is really where Cavalier goes above and beyond. So can you maybe explain why you've invested in having two spotting presses?
Sure, I'd love to. There's a lot of challenges. And one thing, when you're a supplier to a lot of the big OEMs and companies around the world, be it automotive, non-automotive, it doesn't matter. They need to know that they can trust on their suppliers. So we want to ensure that when that tool hits the dock of the receiving customer, it's pain-free. We want to be that Tylenol. And one way to do that is to spot these tools. I would hate to send a tool all the way down to Mexico only to have a problem, to have it come back up, a further delay in timing and such. So this is a way that we can get into our press, we can check the tool to mimic what that environment might be within the production facility, and we can go through that tool. So when we know that tool hits the customer's dock, it's ready to go. We're confident that you're going to put it in the press and run. There's many shops that don't use presses. Some guys have presses 20, 30 years old. We've got two of the newest presses within the city. it's important, and it's like buying insurance. Customers know when you're at that level, they come to expect what's going to hit their dock is going to run. So that term, set it and forget it, we're proud to say that. We're really proud that we can offer that and feel good about doing so.
Well, that's great. And obviously with this show being in Mexico and Latin America, like you said, you want to make sure when those items go out that you get, they're ready to roll. So
absolutely. Our message is, if you're going to work with Cavalier, feel confident when that tool hits your facility. We've put a lot of steps in place to make sure that's going to run flawlessly. So we're very much agreeable to the challenge with working with guys that aren't necessarily in our backyard, but perhaps all the way on the other side there. And we're happy to do so. We're up for the challenge, and I look forward to the opportunity.
Okay. Now, earlier we talked about people, process, and equipment, and I know people are vitally important at Cavalier. We're also referenced as the Cavalier Army, and during COVID, there were some risk mitigation things put in place, and we're going to hear from our general manager, Brenda Quint, talking about that and some of the things that you did to prepare for the pandemic and how you've managed to stay safe and still keep things rolling along.
We created protocols to keep our employees safe. We had dedicated doors for entry. We implemented a temperature check. We limited the visitors into our building. We also hired additional staff to up our cleaning activities. We actually left some of our interior doors open so people didn't have to touch them. Cavalier is extremely busy right now, and we look back and think, how is this happening? Because we hear a lot of our competitors are not as busy. It's contact with our customers. It's not letting them down.
Okay. Well, I know wise words from our general manager, Brenda Quint, because certainly she's seen how things are running from all different aspects, from operations to shop floor activities to sales. And 2020 was the best year ever for Cavalier. So maybe for this one, over to you, Tim, to talk about something we've talked about is total cost of ownership and the importance of that, especially as Ricardo is going to be going out at the Plastimagen show talking about what makes Cavalier, what sets us apart.
Great, thanks, Gail, and I appreciate the opportunity. And it's something that we talk about a lot. It's a mantra here at Cavalier Tool. We don't always have the lowest price tooling, but what our customers come to us for is making sure, as I alluded to earlier today, that their product is the lowest cost going out the door. If they can ups their capacity in their press by 10% or 15% over the year by cutting cycle times, if they can cut injection pressure down by using lower tonnage presses, the cost of their product going out the door is more advantageous than helping them win their market. That's a key part.
Okay. Thanks, Tim. And you know what? When we're live, there's a little bit of clips. We lost a little bit of that, but I'm going to go over to Brian now, and if he can maybe start to wrap things up on, you know, Brenda mentioned about customer service and being busy. Brian, I know this is, can you maybe tell a little bit about why you put customer service as such a high priority?
Sure. I mean, it's important, but it's easy. People buy from people they like. If we do all the right things and we make it easy and we're the Tylenol, why wouldn't someone want to deal with us? So we look at the challenges people have. We look at the constraints they deal with, and we tackle those constraints head on. We don't want every program to be sideways and upside down, but I'll be honest, we do get a lot of those because we get to the other side quicker, faster than a lot of our competitors. So we welcome those challenges. I mean, anyone can build a pizza tray. We don't get a lot of pizza trays. We tend to get some of the more complex tooling. We get difficult tools. Could be a very short period of time. And I believe this is the right path because as things go forward, there's a lot of timing constraints. There's cost constraints. There's a lot of objections on when sourcing tooling. So we need to be that Tylenol. We want it to be pain-free. We want to offer many solutions, and we want to be a little bit of everything to our customers. We don't do end-of-arm tooling. We don't do fixtures. We build molds, and we're really good at it. We're a darn good mold builder, and man, I'm proud to be part of that team, and we'd love to build some molds for guys. That's why we're here, and that's what we do.
Thank you. Well, now as we're wrapping up, I do want to just finally say, make sure that Ricardo is going to be at the exhibition, available. You can reach out to him by email, many ways of contact. Also, check out the Cavalier social media, our blog at our website, and our YouTube channel, as well as visiting and reaching out to Ricardo. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.